Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here with some Tuesday 8 ball. I am breaking off first, and as you can see, my struggles with the break continue as I dry broke here. Um, you're going to see how impactful struggling on the break has been. I was breaking very well in practice, but I guess just wasn't too focused on it in the match, and it definitely ends up hurting me just because of how easy it is to control the game when you make a good break. So looking around the table here, I ended up being solids, overcut the one ball, and now we're playing a gentleman named John who's got a very nice hat. Ends up missing a shot here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this side pocket shot. And just going to let you know this first rack was horrible. I don't know how I ended up winning this rack, spoiler alert. But just look at this shot. So, and not only do I miss the 7, I end up scratching. And then that was the second time I had scratched in that rack. It just does not end up being the rack for me. So he does miss that shot, and I have an opportunity. So after struggling with a couple of shots, took the 7, didn't have the easiest 6. So I decided to play the smart shot, which I know a lot of people hate, especially on my team, how much I prefer to play safeties, but ended up getting him behind the 8 ball, and he ends up not only not clipping his 15 ball, but he makes my 1 ball. So it's ball in hand for me, and I'm able just to, pick off these 2 balls and win the first rack. Again, this is USAPL, so the score is 14-6. I'm giving him about, I think about 15 balls. So again, this is kind of what's funny is that he broke a lot softer than I did, but he was able to get a ball down. I don't know if that's the play, but definitely going to continue to work on the break. He ends up making both those balls. Don't think he wanted to make both of them. You always want to try to keep one of them there in the pocket, the balls, just so it's a little bit easier. That's the advertised way to do so. So, kind of early, things aren't going my way because he does break out all these balls, but he gets his 15 out of there right in front of the pocket and leaves me with nothing with all of these balls left on the table. So as I'm scanning this, my one concern is making sure he does not have a shot on that 15. So I want to make it a little bit difficult, make him try to shoot a long 9 ball or this strike ball on the upper rail close to the corner pocket. So it didn't play the greatest safety, wanted to get behind the 6 ball, but it ended up working out okay for me. He tries to go for the 9, ends up scratching, so I get ball in hand. Took the 4 ball, which you couldn't see because my ass was in the way. But just got the opportunity to pick off some balls and also move his 15 ball out of the way because that was a concern to me mentally. I knew that was going to be something I was going to be cognizant of. So decided to take these solids down at the bottom of the table and take this 4. I wanted to come above the 9, but got a friendly bump on it, and then took the 6 ball. Overdrew it a little bit, which is what I tend to do, so I decided to draw it 2 rails. I will say that was a very nice shot going around his stripe that you see there on the table, and honestly, that was a confidence-boosting shot. And I'm able to set up and knock down the 8 ball. So here we are, break number 2. And yes, another dry one. So currently I'm making a ball about 20% of the time on the break, which is awful. So he ended up taking solids. As you can see, all the solids in front of the pockets, that's how easy it is that the game can turn around on you. So he ends up missing, so obviously I have stripes, and just kind of scanning, and end up making a nice bank shot here for the setup. That's what I was really concerned about. And now I'm just going to pick apart these balls and just pop over, use a little bit of stun draw to get this ball just like I have been lately, overran the ball and did not want to tie up those two balls. And I got behind the 15 again, trying not to get behind the 15. So just played a terrible bank shot, to be honest with you. He ends up making a really nice shot here over the ball, which if you ever shot over the ball, it becomes significantly more difficult. And this is where I would come into tactical play because his 15 is a little difficult. I'm sorry, my 15 is a little bit difficult. His two balls a little bit difficult. Probably try to play safety here, but he makes it and does get pretty good shape on the two. But here's the problem is that you actually have to make it in his position. This is what I call selling out. If you make it, fantastic. But if you don't, then you kind of set up your opponent. So again, a lot of my teammates and people I talk to, they don't like that I play safeties so often. But this is what happens is that he ends up making a mistake, and I play a great draw shot again. That's something that boosts my confidence tonight. It was probably one of the better shots that I played, and end up winning out the rack. So it's his break now. I don't think he gets anything down, but like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, I finally get to shoot off my opponent's break, and I'm left in the corner, and I shoot this long 10 and a rattle the pocket. And just like that, he's got open table and literally has all the solids. I mean, all the stripes. If I had knocked that down, I had a pretty good chance of going on a run there, so he's just going to go ahead. So again, just stressing how important the break is. So definitely going to try to making adjustments for Thursday. He ends up scratching there a little bit of top, which is, a pretty common mistake for that. So I decided to go ahead and just start picking off these solids. Overdrew it a little bit, nothing too crazy. Decided not to take the 4 there. Probably, if I could do it over again, probably would have shot that 4. But anyways, I took my eye off the ball because there was somebody walking around the table, but that's completely my fault. You should just stand back up. Ended up getting the cue ball back. Decided to draw it back a little bit and have a shot on the 1 ball. So in this situation, you go 1, 5, and then 4, and then try to break it out and go the 8 ball in the opposite corner. I don't think it goes. So I end up setting it down. Again, nice little pause and the backstroke. That's definitely been helping out my game. But here's a mistake that I made as well, is that I should have gone down, put more top on it, and gone to the second rail. That's what I'm telling myself there. But try to baby it and get position, which makes it actually more difficult. Use more rails to make sure that you can get better position. It definitely facilitates that. He makes a nice shot here and gets right in line to take it in this side. So a very nice shot for John here. He ends up making another shot. Something I'm struggling with is side pocket shots, but he made some really good ones tonight. Unfortunately, he does undercut this shot, but he doesn't leave me with anything too easy. So what I wanted to do here was block the pocket with the 4. Missed it, but I really was working on the cue ball. So he ends up misplaying the shot. So this goes pretty easily, but I wanted to play it as that if I miss, he did not have a shot on the 15. So I was trying to play a little two-way shot. I just wanted to play the percentages, but here's what my dumbass did. I made the shot, and not only did I make the shot, if I had missed it, I left him perfect on his stripe. So I failed with both of my quest there. So played a bank shot. Again, these slow banks are just not something that I do very well in, and definitely need to work on that because he ends up missing. And here is definitely my worst shot of the night. So as you can see, I'm really looking at it. It's really on the corner. You want to play a little bit of top. Here, I don't know if I hit it too hard looking back at it. That's what I did. And I ended up scratching. So I gave him the win, which he was pretty happy of. Finally, get a ball on the break. Third time is the charm, I suppose. So I ended up playing the 5-11-3 combo. It's still open, so I did need to get this down, but I wanted to break everything open. Wanted to get the cue ball a little bit uh, more center table, but made a nice back cut. Unfortunately, cluttered those three balls up at the top of the table. Played a safety. As you see, I'm playing a couple more safeties. I wanted to get this ball behind his 10 ball. That way he had to absolutely move it, but he intelligently did not. So I got a nice shot on the 6 ball. Again, coming back to these side pocket shots. This is something I really struggle with. I try to baby them, and then it throws off my accuracy. And so yeah, so here's a shot that a lot of people would not play, but I decided to play it. So I just played it super soft into the rail because I wanted him to get that 15 out of the way. I didn't want him to have anything too easy to shoot at. And he almost got away with the shot, but I have a bank shot here. Unfortunately, played the position very well, but you have to make the shot first. Ended up getting the cue ball back. So just put a little bit of bottom right spin to come to rails. Then did a little bit of pinch draw. Didn't get as much of a forward move as I wanted to, but was able to play it. But again, here's another blunder. Honestly, I did talk to somebody before I shot this shot. Should have gotten back down and really looked at it, but I was nervous, had the win in the bag. But that's how you can easily lose a rack there. So definitely not my best mental game for sure. And didn't break well at all. So he ended up missing, but left me right in the pocket. Wanted to play a better shot with the cue ball, but ended up leaving him a pretty easy shot. He should have gotten out here. It's a pretty good shot, but he ended up missing this. And thank God I just had an easy shot. So decided to just take it. I was honestly expecting this cue ball to hit the 11 and go in the side pocket, but ended up winning. Good game to John.